Good evening, everybody. What are you up to this Saturday evening on a holiday? So I just put the toddlers to bed about quite a bit later than usual, and we attempted something, and it did not work out. It was a complete shitstorm on the toddler front. So today was a very interesting day. Now but it's not just today. It's a build up as it usually is. And Ryan and I did our latest episode today, and it was about acknowledging things as what they are, and not just letting it be water under the bridge, like what's done, it's done. That there's value in acknowledging what happened and how you feel about things to create connection. So we did that episode today, and then today, oh my God, okay. So here's where we're at, just to give you a bird's eye view. So for the past several years, I've been the entrepreneur, figuring out my own shit. How to do the lead magnets and the opt-ins and the pop-ups and the websites and the videos and all this crazy stuff. Well, Ryan got into this game earlier this year, and it's been about 7 months now since we started Ruthlessly Committed. Yeah. And now we're taking it to a whole new level, beginning to host events. So we're doing our first Transformational couples event October 4th through 7th in Irvine. So we've been hitting it hard. We're calling people, we're connecting with people, we're having conversations. All these things are coming together, and it just clicks that the thing that is making the most impact, or the thing that we can make the most impact, is in marriages. So we've both been working hard, and I had my own rhythm. I had a good rhythm. I finally got my rhythm figured out. And Christy, oh my gosh, good to see you, Mama. I look hot. I am hot, I'm sweating. Can you see my face glistening? I don't think that's hot. I think that's grease. I think that's greasy, oily. But I'll take it. Thank you. So I finally found my rhythm. Okay, during this time, between this time and this time, I'm going to be super present, and I actually stuck with it. I held that frame for myself, and then certain times of the day I would work and I would be super focused, and at the beginning of the week I map out, what I'm working on that week, and every quarter I'm focused on what are my big rocks for this quarter. That's how I've written my books. That's how I've launched new programs and coaching groups and all this stuff, and done events. So I like to be a planner. I like to plan. Now, during all that time, Ryan was my rock at home. Sure, during the 2 years that he was in this dark place, in this depression that he experienced, that threw a whole other wrench in things. But he was here with the kids. And now, now that we're both working, and not only are we both working, but now we're both working together, it's a whole new series of challenges to work through. So the thing heavy on my heart has been that, before if I'm away, if I'm gone, I could count on him, that at least Daddy's there, at least Ryan's there with them, and present with them, doing things with them, engaging conversation, asking them questions, connecting. But now that we're away together, it's we're still in the house because we work from home. So we'll be in the same house, but we'll be in the kitchen having a conversation. And we're not actually connecting with the kids, or we're up here, doing a video or having a conversation. And so my heart just keeps pulling me back to I don't want my kids to get into the habit of numbing themselves out with, TV and snacks. And it's just not okay with me. It's not okay with me. And I know that it's not okay with Ryan. There was something that my vision for what I want with my kids is so big that this really is just wrecking me inside. And I haven't been really acknowledging it. Now I'll give Ryan some glimpses of oh, hey, you know what? I want to do this with the kids. I want to spend this time with the kids. And then last week when we were on a vacation, I was very intentional about being present with them, because that was my vision for the trip. So I've been struggling with this, you guys. How do we make this work? And the big missing element for me in all of this was acknowledging it to my kids. Now, yesterday, this started to begin to unfold because Vivi, our 3.5-year-old, she's going to be 4 in a few months, a couple months. I sat her in front of me, and I looked at her, and I just got very emotional, and I was crying, and I said, and she's 3.5, you know, and I was like, Vivi, I'm so sorry, you know, mommy wanted to play with you today, and I couldn't, or not that I couldn't, but I didn't. Mommy wanted to play with you, and I didn't, and I'm so sorry, because I know that, you know, I know there's signs, you know, when they call, when she keeps asking, like, mommy this, right? Mommy this, right? Mommy this, right? This is black, right? The dragon's eyes are blue, right? And I don't want to be dismissive. So that dismissiveness of like, yeah, honey, just a little bit longer, just a few more minutes, just, you know, we'll do it after your nap, we'll do it after lunch. And while, even if I keep those promises of having the popsicle or the smoothie or the snack after the nap, it's not about that. It's that I feel, I don't feel in alignment with myself and in my integrity when I'm sitting there dismissing her. So I, you know, and these things happen slowly. They happen over time. They really sneak in. Like, oh, it's just a few more minutes. Oh, I'm just going to bring the computer downstairs for a little bit. Oh, it's just this one thing. Oh, it's just because it's temporary. But I know me and my patterns, and what tends to happen with me is that then I just allow it to permeate all these areas of my life, all these different times of my day. And before I know it, my day feels out of control. And my time, I don't even know where it's going, you know, because there's no focus, there's no clear intention on what is happening that day and in that moment and what I am really committed to. And so this has been going on for a little bit, just in little pieces, and then again, growing and permeating and expanding. And then today, it really came out. It came out. Yesterday, I had this conversation with Vivi, but today, it was really, really bugging me when, okay, this morning I took all the kids to Costco, and it went well. I'm used to taking all of them out and doing things, and they're great. They're great together. They're great in public. They've got great little dynamic. And that was fine, but then we get home and it's back to, you know, I had this expectation that, okay, Ryan and I are gonna have a conversation about what we're gonna do in our video, and then we're gonna just shoot the damn thing, you know, we're just gonna do it. But it turned into this whole like, okay, well, what is our flow? Like, what is the sequence? What is it that we really wanna say in this message? And anyway, so it took a lot longer, and I started to feel impatient and frustrated and irritated that it was taking so long. And then we had more conversation after. I'm like, you know, I just want to go be with the kids, because they've been, you know, watching a movie this whole time, anytime that we've been home after Costco, and I'm not okay with that. Like, I want to connect with them. And so anyway, but I didn't really acknowledge that to Ryan. So you see, what happens is that all these unacknowledged feelings build up, and then it becomes a shitstorm. A shitstorm. I would say literally, but it's not. There's not actual shit everywhere. It's just it feels like it is, but anyway, it's a shitstorm. And we had plans. This is where stuff got real. Okay, this is where stuff gets real challenging. So we had plans tonight at 6 p.m. to go have dinner with some friends. It was a small group of friends, like 8 people. We only knew 2 of them. The other ones we just met tonight. So that's a whole other layer of the story. These people have no idea who we are, what we're about, like what our family's like, and none of them have kids. Yes, Christy, you know, with 3 kids, like a year apart each or less. Holy cow. So here we are. It was 6 o'clock. And we're getting ready to leave. Like, we needed to be there at 6. And it bugs me when we're late. And we still hadn't left yet. And so, yes, Christy, a whole other layer of shit. Like, actual shit with 3 babies. So we're about to leave. And then Ryan and I, we had this moment where we looked at each other and we're like, what the fuck? Like, we are so disconnected right now. We can't go like this. So he actually called it out. He was like, we need to do a fuck you session like right now. And I'm not going to go into what all that entails, but basically we get all of our stuff out, we get all our shit out, and we clear it out. And then we actually connect. Like, what is it that we want right now? You know, we're not going to let this stuff go on beneath the surface and eat away at us and keep us disconnected and irritated. We don't stand for that. We stand for connection and integrity. So then I was just like, oh my God, you know, I can't believe that it's going to take even longer. Like, we're already late and the kids are so excited to go, and like, what the hell are we doing? And so he goes downstairs and he tells them, okay, it's going to be 5 to 10 minutes. And I'm already thinking like, there's no fucking way it's going to take 5 to 10 minutes. This is going to take a longer, I don't know exactly how long, but it's going to take longer than 10 minutes. And so I'm already like, you know, so I just come right out and I'm like, all the stuff comes out, and I was like, oh shit, I didn't realize that I felt like 50% of that. And the big thing that came out was how I felt like I was resenting Ryan for taking me away from our kids with all this superfluous conversation that was very important. So it's not to take away from the need that it had to happen, because we are working through some things business-wise and figuring things out and strategizing, and Facebook doesn't allow marketing about anything sexual, so that puts a wrench in our things. But anyway, so we're figuring all this out, and then it's all logistical stuff. It's no heart stuff. And we were missing the heart stuff in a lot of that conversation. So he called that out, and he said, this is not okay. We are not going to these people's house in this state. We are disconnected as fuck. And so we had our thing and we got stuff out. But the big thing that came out again was that resentment that I had not even acknowledged to myself. That was crazy, about how much I blamed him and resented him for me not being present with our kids, when in reality it is 100% my responsibility to set the intention of and be really clear with what I want to create each and every day, and at what time, by when, because I know people that if I do not have that structure in place, and it's not just me, this is a lot of the coaching groundwork that I use with the moms, with the wives, with any of my clients, is look, if you're not accountable to even yourself of by when am I going to do this, what does it look like, how will I know that I've completed it? It doesn't stand a chance. I can say to my kids, hey, you know what? Let's spend more time together this weekend. And then, hey, we have 3 days this weekend, right? So then Saturday goes by and Sunday and then Monday and then Tuesday rolls around and we're like, oh shit, we didn't really connect this whole time, because the intention wasn't set, because I wasn't clear. Hey, you know what? On Sunday, I'm going to unplug. On Sunday, we're going to go to our friend's house at 2 p.m. and hit the pool. You know, on Sunday, I'm going to take you out for a walk, Callie, and then I'm going to take you out for Alexi at this time. Because we need to be, and I'll speak for myself, I need to be super clear about what my intentions are. Otherwise, the day runs me. And then, at the end of the day, that's when the shitstorms happen, when the guilt hits. And I know I'm tying a lot of this in, so I'm shifting directions. So tonight, what happened was Ryan and I acknowledged what was really going on and what was beneath that feeling of irritation and disconnection. And it took us about 30 minutes. So here we are, even more late for our dinner plans. And also I have in the back of my mind, like, okay, well, we can't even stay that long because the toddlers start to get super cranky after a certain hour. So we're gonna have like 20 minutes to be there. And what kind of dinner, you know, group gathering is that? And again, we didn't know the rest of the people there. So we walk in, we roll in, we're like 40 minutes late, and no, more than that. We couldn't find parking, we got lost, like all this stuff. I got lost. So we come in and then we eat. Like, literally what happened is we eat, and then I ended up having to leave with the toddlers because they were just going crazy. Our friends have a big dog, and the little ones are just terrified of dogs. So they're freaking out the whole time on and off. And then these other friends that were there that don't have any kids, or at least not with them, it was just a little awkward. They're like, oh, these people's kids are crazy, out of control, and they were so afraid. They were freaking out over this dog that was super friendly and very well trained. So I ended up leaving, and Ryan is still there with the big kids. So I'm really glad that they got to enjoy time with their little friends, because that was the big thing on my mind was, fuck, I'm disappointing them again. First, there are a whole bunch of things throughout the day. And yeah, Christy, right? That's birth control for those people. It's birth control for them. But first it was like, it's one thing, a little thing, like one unmet expectation, and then another, and then another. And the kids, our older kids who are closer to 10 and 11 now, they understand, how this whole acknowledging and committing and integrity and all that stuff works. And we've been really talking with them about this a lot. So on the way to the dinner, I was driving with them, and I got real with them. I was like, you know what, you guys, I feel I am not okay with the way that things have been recently. With me and Daddy both gone, both like not engaging with you guys, like nobody very connected with you. And we were just, this is not what I want. This is not okay with me. And then I told them how I feel about it, how, what all the guilt, the shame, all the blame, the resentment I was putting onto Ryan. And I asked them, like, what do you guys want? Is this okay with you? Like what? Because I can tell when they're feeling disconnected what their signs are. Alexi starts to kind of like look like she gets really dodgy with her eyes, can't keep eye contact. And then Callie is just kind of like ambivalent about life and gets extra bored. And so we had some great conversations about that. And Alexi was like, thank you, Mommy, for sharing your feelings with me. And I was like, thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing back. I mean, and that was the first moment that we have connected in that way, I would say, all week since we got back from the cabin, which was Sunday. So it's been almost a week since we have really connected. And you guys, the mom guilt shit, it doesn't have to exist. Here's the thing, if you feel the guilt, it's there for a reason. It's there because it's telling you something is off. It's telling you that, you know what? You need to wake the fuck up, woman. There is something that you're doing that is not working for you, and you feel like shit for a reason. So the first step in that is to just acknowledge, like, you know what? I do feel like shit. I do feel ashamed. I do feel like I'm letting my kids down, and like I don't have my shit together, and like I'm neglecting them and disconnecting from them and ignoring them. Just getting real with ourselves. Dude, like this is what's happening. And then this is how I feel. This is how I feel. This is what's happened. This is how I feel. And then what do I want? The end of that conversation with the kids had to do it to sum it up was, you know what? I don't know exactly what this is going to look like for me and Daddy to be working together and, successfully, and to be with you guys and connected. But I am 100% committed to figuring it out. And that's what it takes, people. It takes 100% commitment. Setting that clear intention that I am going to connect with my kids every single day. That what happened this week was not okay with me. It was not by any stretch of the imagination. And I was in Fantasyland thinking that, I'm doing this for a little bit temporarily, just, until we get over this hump, or until this one thing clicks, or until we get past this milestone. No, I refuse to wait until all the stuff is cleaned up in one area to connect with my kids. And connection with Ryan has been, is a top priority. I would say more top priority than connecting with my kids, because if we are not okay, and this is the other piece of this, that before we left, we got all our shit out. We told each other all the stuff that we had been not telling each other all day and really all week, and really cleared the air. And then when we pulled up, we were walking up to the door, and we're like, you know what? We're good. Like, we're okay. We're better than okay. Like, I see you now. I see you past all the stories that I had in the way. And there was like this sigh of relief. And, we're together in this. And so when I had to leave early with the toddlers because they were freaking out about the dog, and they were cranky, and they were just like not having it, and they both wanted me to hold them. They both wanted mommy. And our friends who have single friends there, a whole table of single friends, were like, what the fuck is with these people rolling in late with their crazy kids? That was a moment that we could be a united front, and assess what is the best thing for our family right now, what needs to happen. No blame, no shame, no guilt, no anger, no frustration, but simply a commitment as a family. Okay, this is what we're gonna do, and we're both on the same page. But if we hadn't cleared out our shit before leaving the house, I guarantee that situation would have looked very different. There would have been a lot of different feelings beneath the surface. So, all this to say, I mean, this is just what it was. It was a shitstorm. It really was. It really was at our friend's house, and they're like, next time we'll come to you guys. Like, yes, that way we can put the toddlers to bed early enough, and things don't get super crazy, and there's no dog. But anyway, commitments, acknowledgements, guys. Without getting real with ourselves about how we're really feeling and what's actually happening. Looking at the facts for me this week of how little I had actually connected with my kids, especially my big kids. When you see how much pain is being created, what the impact is of not having that connection, it just will wake you up. It will wake you up so hard, so fast. And then you got to do something about it, or you're going to feel even more like shit. And I choose to do something about it. So that's it. That's my summary for today. Thank you guys for hopping on. Bob, hey, Mia. Oh my goodness, you guys. Thank you for joining me on this Saturday evening. I'm glad to see that there are some folks at home too. I think I'm gonna go to bed now. I'm tired. Or maybe I'll wait for I don't know. I'm gonna wait up. I'm gonna wait up and do some reading. Everyone have a great Saturday night, and I look forward to seeing you again. Bye.